Okay, we're here finishing off some editing for a client. Trying to get it done every single time, Kat. Every single time. Give me a second. So we ended up not being able to go out and film when we had planned to because it rained down in our location and temporarily flooded it. We have to go check again later this week to see if it's still flooded. I don't think it is. It should have dried off by now. So right now we're planning to condense what that day was and what our next day is all into one day this Saturday. So right now I'm sitting here planning out our footstep map, which is going to be pretty crazy because we are finishing off with 4 of the major wide shots. We have to kind of figure out how we set up our prop pieces in a strategic way to where we don't ruin our other wide shots with footprints. Even though we have Temper Pixel, an awesome special effects company over in London who can help us out with removing the footsteps, we're really just trying to see how much we can minimize the need for special effects by just properly mapping out where we can walk so that we don't interfere with our next wide shot. So it's been a little difficult. We're here planning out the rest of the shots just so we can maximize what we're shooting. Basically, our hope is that we'll be able to get the 4 major wide shots, 1 of our other major shots, and then like 3 of the little tiny shots just to finish off. And if that all works out well, we'll actually finish off all our shoots for that area of the Salt Flats location, and then everything else for the rest of the chapter can be done in a different area that we don't have to drive out as far to, which hopefully will save us a lot of time and allow us to really knock out those parts. So we're getting close. We're not done yet, but we're getting really close to finishing off. Frank unfortunately is out of town, so then we're just trying to figure out with the pod. We had done some test shots earlier, but it was without the pod in its current state. It was actually with a trash can, so that made it kind of difficult to see what it was going to look like. So now we're going to test it with the pod, see how the movements work, try to figure out, how far do we need to go with this movement? Is it fully, setting up the whole entire jib rig and doing it all that way, or can we do it some other ways that allow it to be a quicker shoot, but still get the quality that we want, or just take the time and do all the setup. So we'll see. That's what testing out is here for today. Okay, so you're about here, you think?
Yeah, a little closer to me, yeah. A little bit more. Right there, yeah.
Okay, and then do you want to go, probably that's the lowest you can go. Lock it off.
Is this going to be a one-time deal again?
No.
Okay. Because it's just the feet, so we can pretty much do it anywhere, huh?
Yeah, and so this one, do you want to lock that down? Twist, no, on the back, it's right there. Yeah, twist it down. So these ones are set up to where if we make a mistake, we can't use the same spot, but we just move ahead. And so what we do is we shoot all the big wide shots first, and we get to these small shots.
Cool.
Good?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I need to move faster, or you need to move slower?
I think you just a touch faster.
Okay.
Because if I start going slower, my footsteps get weird. Oh, we'll see.
Yeah. So you are also tall.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we probably need to be back just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
If we have a cool enough background behind the pod,
It'll just be openness.
it'd just be, yeah, I mean,
So I actually didn't mind. Did you have another one?
that was the last one. I mean, I think there's one other one.
Which has a slight tilt?
I think so.
Yeah, see, with that, I almost think you're looking too much at his butt. I mean, obviously you won't see his butt.
Right. See that pause? The push is hard.
Yeah.
The push is,
I think it's really like as soon as we say 3, 2, 1, we start pushing.
yeah, and I mean, it's got to be quick. And I think maybe that's what I wasn't thinking about. I was going for the art instead of what we can do.
See, I don't mind that position. I actually think it's okay.
Yeah, and then we have the gun hidden, and it's really not a huge tilt, but it's enough to kind of get a bit of movement.
Let's try one more.
Okay.
What if you were to step back even a little bit further, and it's like right as soon as we say 1, you start pushing even before I turn. Okay. So it'd almost be like you start pushing in right as I'm about to start turning.
See the gun, though.
If you're back further?
Well, spin, I'm pushing already.
See, that's what I was thinking of having you back just a bit further.
Okay.
So then you just barely catch the gun at the last second.
So why are we pushing? That's my other issue with this one now.
Because you wanted to push?
Right, right. And so
Well, it's the first time we're revealing his face.
this is true. Yeah.
So that kind of motivates it.
That's the idea.
Okay.
Okay, we are out of focus. Okay, you're looking. 3, 2, 1. And then you're looking around, yeah. Man, that's a huge push. Right.
Yeah, that is a big push. So we've been trying ever so hard to get back out to film for Navigator. And there's been lots of stuff going on, like this. Frank got married, Jake got married, Drew had a baby, few delays with, trying to let people live their lives. We took a last minute trip to go visit my wife's grandfather as he's been feeling very ill and wanted to kind of see him just in case it's the last time that we see him. We have a client project where we need to finish off 65 videos before the middle of the month, and just like a whole bunch of other stuff that was going on. We keep moving forward with stuff, but man, it is a battle to get stuff done. So we are supposed to be going out and filming tomorrow. We don't have a full crew. It'll actually just be myself and then Frank. Frank will be helping me out with setting up stuff and then getting over to his position as we call action. So we'll see how that goes, but we're getting all things prepped for that. I had to change the oil in my vehicle, had to change the brakes, and had to do an alignment on the vehicle. Got all that stuff worked out, finishing with fixing up some items for props and costumes that fell apart last shoot. Doing all of that before waking up tomorrow to film for Navigator, and then the day after we are leaving to Washington for another family thing. So just trying to squeeze it all in, and we're hoping that the weather works out. And that it plays in our favor for us to be able to accomplish this. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for being so patient over the past few weeks. Obviously, as you can tell by the episode, it's been a crazy few weeks, and our other editors were tied up with various projects, and so we just couldn't get some of the bonus features out. A huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for believing in us and kind of encouraging us to keep going forward each time. See you next week.